You are listening to the Postcast, presented by the Locked On Senators podcast, and of course, our friends at the Glebe Central Pub. Make sure to check out the GCP, where the vibes are free at 779 Bank Street. Let them know that Locked On Senators sent you, and on game days, you'll get 10% off your order. You can also get the Senator Shuttle, just $17 round trip to and from the CTC. They've got a bus going on Tuesday and Thursday, and there will be a playoff shuttle. So stay tuned for more information as the schedule becomes available. I'm Ross Levitan alongside Brandon Piller after a 4-3 come from behind win in overtime against the Philadelphia Flyers. The OT winner, Tim Stützle's second of the game. We'll get into just how much he needed that one. And Pilsy, I always imagine when the postcast is snapping it around that it looked like the puck movement on that 4-on-3 power play.
Yeah, I mean, if Martian or Jack was here, that's how we would be moving this thing around, because that was absolutely beautiful. And you needed to score there, Ross, because Tim Stützle had a one-timer that really took a piece out of, I believe it was Sealer. He was down without a stick, hurt. So you got a 4-on-3 in overtime power play where one guy's playing banged up without a stick. You have to find a way to score there. And they were finding ways to move that puck around nicely. And yeah, those one-touch passes were a thing of beauty. It actually starts with Timmy and then works all the way around the triangle and gets back to him for the complete triangle there. And Timmy makes no mistake putting that one away.
So we love to snap it around on the postcast, and we love little catchphrases. And Pilsy, we have infiltrated the dressing room. Our very own Laleem's Martian. Read this quote from Thomas Chabot after Tim Stützle's goal.
Well, from our guy, Julian McKenzie at The Athletic, he tweets the quote, "Just give it to the German," right? Thomas Chabot, when asked about Tim Stützle's first goal. I mean, this is the thing. Timmy needs to understand why everyone wants him to shoot it more, because he's got a great shot. And Julian also tweeted earlier that he was chatting with Timmy, and Timmy said him and Travis Green had a conversation, and Green wasn't happy about the way that Timmy wasn't shooting the puck. Well, I think this is best case scenario. Travis Green is like, "See, I told you." And Timmy's like, "Oh, you're right. Yeah, I should shoot the puck more." And apparently Zetterlund walked by at that time and is like, "Just shoot the puck, Timmy."
I love it. And speaking of Thomas Chabot, we'll get into this game because it's not an Ottawa Senators win if it wasn't for the play of Thomas Chabot today. But give it to the German. Oh, my goodness. Tim Stützle. I almost went with Thomas Stützle. I mean, imagine those two together. But no, Tim Stützle tonight was in one. That goal was an absolute beauty. His first goal in 9 games, had 8 straight games without a goal, only 1 assist over that stretch. And even if you go back, Pilsy, like since he scored the winner in Chicago, he only had 1 goal. That's an 18-game stretch with 1 goal for Tim Stützle. It was during the onslaught against the Detroit Red Wings while mayhem was going on at center ice. Remember, Lucas Raymond was on the bottom of the pile with Brady Tkachuk. Tim Stützle went in and did his signature move, short side. How are you? That was his only goal in 18 games since the OT winner against the Blackhawks in what felt like a must-win game. This one really was lackadaisical through the first 2 periods, but the temperature got turned up early in the 3rd period, and Tim Stützle was there to answer the bell. Even if they lost this game, and obviously they needed Timmy's 2nd goal to get the win in overtime, but if you had told me the Sens would lose today, but Timmy would have 2 goals and an assist, I would have said sure, because getting Stützle firing offensively is going to be so critical in a week from now.
Yeah, the goals are so important, Ross. And between his last goal in 8 games, only 1 assist, so not even just not scoring goals, 16 shots on net, so averaging about 2 shots on goal a game here. We got to bump those numbers up. Like we've been talking about, we want to see Timmy hitting at least 3 shots a game here. When you've got a shot like that, there's no reason not to, and especially without guys like Brady Tkachuk in the lineup, like you've got the green light to shoot it here, and he did just that. 2 goals, 1 assist, a great night for Tim Stützle, now at 23 goals of the season.
Oh, he needed that so bad. Hey, shout out Timmy's assist was a secondary assist, and our guy Angus Crookshank, first point of the season, feeds Thomas Chabot, and both goals in the 3rd period for Ottawa were absolute snipes from nearly the same spot. First, it was Fabian Zetterlund. He's got 2 goals in his last 3 games now for Ottawa. And then Thomas Chabot, his 3rd point of the night, his first goal of the night. And it was an absolute beauty to see that one go in. And is Ivan Fedotov the best goalie in the league? No. Is he a quality of goalie you're going to see in the playoffs? Probably not. But my goodness, it felt nice for the home crowd. 5th straight win at home for Ottawa too, Pilsy. And nice to see a come from behind win as well. We haven't seen that in a little while either.
Yeah, but also, Ross, like those were all good goals. Like I'm not saying better goalies couldn't have stopped them, but like the Zetterlund and Chabot ones, top shelf. Timmy's one-timer, overtime winner, an absolute blast.
Oh, no, no chance on that one.
That's like these are good goals that even better goalies would struggle with. So this is awesome to see. And with so many guys resting in the lineup, I mean, this is the right way to do this. It was so weird looking at this roster, Ross, because normally we look at lineups like this, and it's not because guys are resting. It's because the team has sold off any competent players, and no one's playing for the Ottawa Senators at this time of year. So it was refreshing to have I was going to say laughable lineup, but that's not true. No, it's not true. A lineup without the main
lineup.
Yeah, without the main characters, without a lot of main characters missing from this and not being annoyed by it or frustrated by it.
For those who may have missed the game, I'm talking about all you golf nerds out there who are watching the Masters. Shout out to Club EG. If you want to play more golf, make sure to get that Club EG early bird special. Yeah, this wasn't an NHL playoff level lineup, let's say. Nope. Guys were resting, but Pillsy, you know when I knew things were in rough shape? I always tweet out at SensCentral after the 1st and 2nd period, just thoughts. And I like that everyone has been so on board with giving us thoughts after every single period. And when the overwhelming majority are saying, I've been liking Hayden Hodgson's game, that's great for Hayden Hodgson, but not great for the rest of what we've seen on the ice through 2 periods.
Yeah, it was a little sleepy the first 2 periods. I mean, yeah, Hayden Hodgson's doing his job, so you can't fault him there.
He's hitting with purpose.
Oh, yeah, big time. Yeah, there's purpose behind those checks, that's for sure. I also want to give, I don't think it's necessarily SensCentral standout worthy, but an honorable mention and a shout out to Nick Cousins. First game back from knee surgery. I thought he looked really good out there. He was buzzing at the net. He was pissing guys off. He was getting shots. Like, that was a really good sign to see Nick Cousins looking that good in his first game back.
Yeah, and I love too, speaking of Nick Cousins, it wasn't ultimately him that made the hit that resulted in a penalty and a dive for Matvei Michkov in the third period, but he was following Michkov up the ice, because if you missed it, Garton Hathaway, a little cross check from behind, a little greasy play from a player who has been suspended for spitting on his opponents. Good Ottawa boy, Eric Branson, on the wrong side of that one. Just a super unlikable player in the league. So he gets a little greasy cross check to the back of Shane Pinto. Don't worry, we'll get to the Pinto stat later. But it was Michael Amadio that just says, hey, you're going to come at our guys. We don't care about Garnet Hathaway. We're going to go at Matvei Michkov. We're going to go at your skill guys. And he gave him a good little shot by the bench. Now, Matvei Michkov folded like a cheap lawn chair there, and he didn't fool the referee with that one. But that's the type of standing up that you want your bottom six especially to do come playoff time. We saw with Montreal. They're targeting Tim Stützle. Don't let them get away with that stuff. And don't bother with the Muppets, buffoons, all in one word. I'm doing that. It's Sunday afternoon. We're feeling good here. But you don't go after their bottom six guys. You go after the guys that are going to make a difference. So I bet you Mitch Marner saw that and said, uh-oh, I'm in one here next week.
Yeah, very well could be the way things go next week, as with the way things are shaking out, it's almost entirely the case that it will be a Battle of Ontario. And oh my God,
Ottawa's locked in.
Fire
now.
Me up.
Let's get into SensCentral standouts. Let's talk about where the Senators have now locked themselves into the standings, and we'll get to the chat, of course. You're listening to Postcast, and it's always brought to you by the Glebe Central Pub. The Postcast would not exist without the Glebe Central Pub, and there will be Postcasts come playoff time, because the GCP knows that the vibes are immaculate around the city of Ottawa. Go get Smash Burger there. Go get yourself some beverages. We know that we have great citizens that are riding the shuttle to each and every Ottawa Senators game. It just beats going back to Montreal on a bus. I'll tell you that much. It's great. You just get on the bus at the Glebe Central Pub, 779 Bank Street, an hour and 15 minutes before the game, and it'll bring you right back from right where they drop you off, so you don't have to say, oh no, where's the bus? It's super easy to navigate. Sue loves the gas pedal. She gets you back to the pub in no time, and you will have the best time among other Sens fans on the Glebe Central Pub shuttle. How about for road games? Well, let's make sure that the Glebe Central Pub is where you watch games on the road this postseason, and go there and get 10% off your order when you let them know that you listen to Locked On Senators on an Ottawa Senators game day. The vibes are free at the GCP. Go visit them at 779 Bank Street and let them know that Locked On Senators sent you.
This episode is also brought to you by our friends over at Upwork. Scaling your business requires the right expertise at the right time. With Upwork, you can find specialized freelancers in marketing, developing, design, and so much more. Experts ready to help you take your business to the next level. Upwork gives businesses flexibility by connecting them with top freelance talent across multiple industries, including IT, AI, web development, and marketing. So whether you need just some extra hands for a project or a long-term partner, Upwork makes hiring simple and affordable. If you need help with a marketing campaign, Upwork can connect you with a freelance expert who's delivered incredible results already. It's fast and easy and simple, and within a day, you can find multiple quality candidates to choose from. Instead of hiring full-time, Upwork helps find affordable, top-tier freelancers to scale your business efficiently. So visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That's Upwork.com, Upwork.com to connect with top talent and grow your business today.
Welcome back to the Postcast. I'm Ross Levitan alongside Brandon Piller, and the Ottawa Senators win again at home. Their fifth straight win on home ice, beating the Philadelphia Flyers 4-3 in overtime. It was a power play goal that gives Ottawa the victory, and holy smokes, the puck movement from Sanderson to Batherson to Stützle to Giroux, back and forth until it was in the back of the net. That's the game winner. Ottawa trailed both 2-1 and 3-2 in this game, but at the end of the day, it's 2 points for the Ottawa Senators. Philly with 32 shots on goal. Anton Forsberg, brilliant in this game at times. Thought he held the fort, especially in the first 40 minutes. Ottawa goes 1 for 3 on the power play. Philly goes 0 for 2. Senators snap back 54% of the faceoffs. Philly with 23 blocks to Ottawa's 14. Senators out-hit the Flyers 29-28. Ottawa with 52% of the expected goals percentage at 5 on 5. Let's get to the scoring summary in this game. It was Nicholas Delorier that opened the scoring halfway through the second period, his second of the season from Cam York and Garnet Hathaway. Then Tim Stützle tied it up 1-1, 22nd goal of the season in all alone, makes no mistake. Thomas Chabot and Travis Hamonic in his 898th game gets the secondary assist, but it didn't stay that way for long. 5 minutes later, Noah Cates gets the goal from Emile Andre and Bobby Brink. That one sends the Flyers into the second intermission with a 2-1 lead. But it was just 4 minutes and 40 seconds into the third period that Fabian Zetterlund gets his 19th goal of the season. Shane Pinto and Thomas Chabot with the assist there. And after Garnet Hathaway scored his 10th of the season to put Philly back on top, Thomas Chabot tied it just 5 minutes after that. Tim Stützle in overtime from Batherson and Claude Giroux. Pilsy, which goal did you like the most? Outside of the OT win.
Well, no, I want to. Can you go back to that page? Pull that page back up.
Oh, fine.
Because Senator makes a good point here. Watch the edge visualizer for the OT goal. It's so beautiful to watch. Look at this puck movement.
Giroux to Batherson, back up top. Giroux to Stützle, to Giroux, to Batherson, to Stützle, to the back of the net. And everybody, look at that. They show everybody coming off the bench.
So awesome.
Hey,
yeah.
Shout out to Chabot and Gilbert. I love the guys that go to the goalie first after the OT winner.
Goalie friendly show. Once the edge visualizer, man, I'm struggling with that word. Those goals are fun to watch, especially when you get to see the puck movement like that. It was also cool to watch Ovi's game record-breaking goal on the visualizer as you see all the players come out. So that's cool to watch once in a while. But that was easily the best goal. But you asked me outside the OT goal. I'm going to go with Fabian Zetterlund's goal, Ross. Like, that was just amazing. Shabby does a good job keeping it in the zone on the blue line. Down low to Pinto. Pinto head up, sees Zetterlund out front, pass right on his tape, and Zetterlund rips it top shelf. And as soon as Pinto got that point, Ross, I ran to FanDuel.com to live bet the Sens because we know when Pinto gets a point, this team's likelihood of winning the game goes up massively. So it turned out great again.
And we're opening up the LOSB stats department. Here it is. When Shane Pinto gets a point this season, Ottawa is 25-1-1. All time, they're 64-11-7. It's truly unbelievable. And Pilsy, we've been keeping track since the Norris for Cousins trade. Senators are 13-5-1 since the trade deadline.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has stepped up, in my opinion, since the trade deadline. Like, there's so many guys that they realize how big these moments are, and to get that clinch, they stepped up their game. And now with the clinch there and the playoffs in sight, I think everybody is finding new ways to contribute and elevating their game. And I'm just so excited for playoffs. Oh my God.
Well, let's get to that in the next segment. Let's do our SensCentral standouts first. We'll focus on this game, then turn our attention to an awful take. We knew it was bad at the start of the season, and it could have been like the guy was on the precipice of a good take, but he had to put our name in his mouth. So we got to address that at the end of the postcast. But Pilsy, your SensCentral standout from tonight's game. That's a good tease, eh?
All right. I don't know what receipt Ross is taking out of his wallet here, so that'll be interesting for all of us here.
It's about the habitants.
Well, I assume that. My SensCentral standout for tonight's game, easy one, my guy, Tim Stützle. I mean, what a game for Timmy. 2 goals, 1 assist, including the overtime winner on the power play. 2 shots, 2 goals. Travis Green saying, Timmy, I don't like how you're not shooting the puck. So Timmy says, okay, 2 shots, 2 goals, 100% shooting percentage clip. You love to see that. And then even his assist was a good one, getting the puck behind the net, getting into Crooker, then Crooker out front to Chabot. He plays 20 minutes and 30 seconds, 50% on the faceoff dot. This was a Tim Stützle game for the ages, and it was nice to see him snap that 8-game scoreless drought.
So can you just picture Timmy walking into Travis Green's office and giving him something like this?
Yeah, I wonder what people think of the trade now.
Wonder what people think of the shot now.
Yeah, I mean, Travis Green would be like, yeah, I told you.
Oh, I love that for Tim Stützle. So we love to see Tim Stützle being as excited as he is right now. I mean, if you caught his interview with Claire Hanna after he was the first star, this guy.
Beautiful.
This guy has the CTC in the palm of his hand. Similar to Brady after the New York Rangers game, where we know how that conversation went. Here we go, let's go. This was pretty similar. You guys deserve it all. He was just, let's go. My reaction to Tim Stützle's interview with Claire Hanna was exactly what Brady Tkachuk did last month.
Let's go! Here we go!
That's how I was on my couch watching that.
Oh, same. I mean, it was almost emotional because you could see how much this means to Timmy. And like he said, like, look, we've been through some hard times here, but the fans stuck by us. We're doing this for you guys. And we know what kind of guy Tim Stützle is off the ice. So it's no surprise that he gives credit to the fans and let them know, hey, your hard-earned support, we're going to make sure we back that up come postseason.
I actually have a conspiracy theory about this interview, though.
Okay.
I think Tim Stützle heard Claire's question. I think he asked her to repeat it for the dramatic effect.
Yeah, possibly. But also, Ross, like sometimes like that kind of noise just gets overstimulating and you might have heard it, but he's like, wait, sorry, I was focused on the crowd. Like, what's going on? What'd you say? That's fair.
Either way, it's a great move. I love it.
I don't mind it. Yeah.
Because I felt like he was about to answer it, and then he's like, wait, say it again.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to hear it again.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't blame him.
I think it's an awesome move. It's all about playing into the crowd, and he deserved it with 2 goals and an assist tonight. I'm going to go with Thomas Chabot for my SensCentral standout. The Senators don't win this game if it's not for Thomas Chabot. He was in the unfortunate situation where his long-term partner tonight, or of the season, Nick Jensen, was not in the lineup tonight. So he's paired a lot with Travis Hamonic. And it took Travis Hamonic 1 minute and 13 seconds to get a slap shot on net. Did the analytics on that one. He was also in his own net when Philly went up 2-1 with that wraparound goal. Or it might have been the first goal.
No, it was the wraparound goal.
It was.
He stopped that one. He was right. Like he would have had it.
We're not going to do the edge visualizer on that one because you'd be wondering if number 23 was playing goalie for the Ottawa Senators. But Thomas Chabot was fantastic. I'm going to pull up some analytics of his game, but the eye test, he was just flying out there tonight. And it's great to see because that's a question mark throughout the season. Everybody knows that Jake Sanderson and Artem Zub are the top pair, but in the playoffs, they're going to need some offense from the Thomas Chabot pair because you're obviously going to get the matchup against the other team's top line with Jake Sanderson and with Artem Zub. So I love it. They played 13 minutes and 36 seconds. They were on the ice for 2 goals for and 1 against tonight at 5-on-5. Expected goals was not in their favor, but the shot attempts were. I just loved what I saw from Thomas Chabot tonight. And how are you going to argue with a goal and 2 assists as well?
Yeah, he's been hot lately, Ross. Like he's been really good. That goal that he got to, top shelf, like that was not a defenseman goal. He's in tight in the slot, and Angus Crookshank finds him, and he just roofs it. So an absolutely great game by Thomas Chabot. He was your Sens MVP halfway through the season, and he's keeping it going here.
Yeah, great to see for Thomas Chabot. I think we could snap it around twice, though. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I'll go with Anton Forsberg. I think his second half of the season was awesome. And this game is probably 2 or 3-0 at one point if it's not for Anton Forsberg. He had a couple, he went right to left on a one-timer. I believe it was in the second period. That was a great save. His rebound control was solid for the most part tonight. And I'm assuming he's going to play one of the final 2 games as well. So I just think it's great that they're able to give Ullmark the rest and know that they've got a capable backup. Because, look, knock on wood, and obviously Ullmark's the guy. The Sens aren't going to be in a situation like Boston was, where it's like, who's going to start if there's a bad game here? Ullmark's their guy.
Yeah.
But there's situations where you're on your second goalie in the playoffs for whatever reason, and now the team in front of him is going to have all the confidence in the world that he's going to be able to come up big in big moments. So Forzy's, I think this is almost like a half of the season achievement award as well. Like he was good tonight. He was very good tonight. Yeah. But I think that he needs some props for how he's played down the stretch for this team.
There we go. Some Forsy love. Love to see it. And some resting Ullmark love, Ross. Love that you've joined my side of the couch here on that take. So just quickly, let's have a conversation. How do you split the next 2 games, or do you split them? Like, what's your plan? Chat, let us know as well.
I probably go Allmark against Chicago, and then it's going to be a quick turnaround from Thursday to the playoffs. So let Forsey play Carolina to wrap the season.
Yeah, I think I do the same. I think certainly you don't want either goalie playing both of these games. So, like, you got to get Allmark in one more game, let him feel it again, let him get back into game mode here. But I don't think you put him in both games here. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think you go Allmark on Tuesday and then Forsey finish off the season in Carolina.
Yeah, I love that. Before we get to your final SensCentral standout, let's go back to my first one. Our guy Martian has clipped it. Here's Thomas Chabot speaking after the game and how you get victories in this league. It's pretty easy when you...
After Lowell, I was waiting to see what the defense...
Oh, come on, man. Here
That's when if he was going to step up and cut that pass or not. And I mean, just give it to the German, right? Just let him do this thing and let him go. And he did. You're just happy for him to see him have a night like this.
Just give it to the German, Pillsy. It's easy. Life's easy when you do that.
It's easy, and I'm sure they've heard Martian screaming that in the CTC. So that's some good armchair coaching from our guy, the Leams Martian.
Hey, give him a tertiary assist on that one. Hey, just give it to the German, right?
Yeah, exactly. Put the suit on, Martian, and let him call the lines and let him draw up some plays there. Because give it to the German. That's an elite play that works a lot of the time.
Hey, give the Ottawa Senators home games, and they will get victories. Your second SensCentral standout, Pillsy.
I'm going to go with Fabian Zetterlund here. I already mentioned how, other than the OT goal, obviously, that goal was my favorite, in my opinion. I think it's got to be tough for Zetterlund, feeling like he's playing good, but just not burying those chances enough. So him getting one here, that's going to get his confidence going. We talked about Timmy needing some confidence, getting some goals. Fabian Zetterlund, I would imagine, is a guy like that as well. This guy's used to scoring goals. He had 17 goals before he got here, and he had 24 goals last year with the San Jose Sharks. So going on this cold of a streak can't be what he wanted or expected when he got to Ottawa. So I love seeing that from Fabian Zetterlund. He had 3 shots on goal, and I think he's going to be the most interesting player to watch, where they're going to place him once everybody's back healthy in the lineup and how they decide they want to set things up for playoff hockey. And
that shot is a difference maker wherever it is in the lineup, and that's why he is so intriguing going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up on the 4th line, Ross, but if he's on the 4th line, I at least want to see him on the second power play unit because he's such a useful player, even beyond the shot. He plays a physical game. I like his play away from the puck, too.
How many teams have 2 4th liners on their second power play unit, though? Because Gaudette's been on the power play unit, too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Gaudette's going to last on the power play because he hadn't been on the second power play unit for quite a while until Brady got hurt, if my memory serves. I know he started the year like that, but then they took him off that second unit for quite a while, and then Brady got hurt, and he found his way back on there. But
Sens have depth, baby.
Yeah,
Sens have depth.
They have depth for sure. And, I mean, that 4th line, yeah, what our guy Owen C just commented, Zetterlund, Gaudette, Cousins. That's nice.
It's certainly nice. Sens with great problems going into playoffs, and they know where they're going to finish. Now it's just who's going to be their opponent. We'll get into that conversation next. Pillsy, you got a word from one of our favorite sponsors.
One of my favorite sponsors, Pistachio Pillsy here, guys. This episode is also brought to you by our friends over at Wonderful Pistachios. Ross is getting into them right now. Why not, Ross? It's the perfect snack to have during a postcast. If you're looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious, crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Pistachios are one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. I love the salt and pepper flavor. Ross, there, he's playing with this food here. What flavor do you got there, Ross?
This is lightly salted.
Lightly salted. Okay, there you go.
You can do another one. I threw that pretty high.
All right, let's see if Ross can get another one here. If you don't want to have to work with the cracking of the shells, check out the no shells variety. It's the perfect grab-and-go snack for busy days, whether you're snacking at your desk during the postcast, on a road trip, or you just need a quick protein boost. They're always an awesome go-to. I love cracking open the shells, and you can too. Get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more.
All right, welcome back to the Postcast. I'm Ross Levitan, and that is Brandon Piller. And I just went 3 for 3 throwing pistachios in the air.
Wow.
I will say,
Legend.
and maybe the chat noticed this. The second one went right down the gullet. I did not. I did not catch
I mean,
it
that's
in
the
time.
danger of doing that. You weren't so confident in your accuracy, and then it just got you.
Well, it's because I got cocky and I threw it so high, and laws of physics would say that it would gain speed on the way down, and it went right into my stomach. So
LOSP, not math guys, but man, do we know physics.
yes, we do here on the Postcast. Oh, I can't wait for a playoff Postcast. We will be rocking and rolling. Like, I'm going to be waiting for that schedule, like refreshing by the minute the second that game on Thursday ends.
I mean, it's likely going to be Sunday. Elliot Friedman has said teams that finish on Thursday, which both the Leafs and the Ottawa Senators do, are probably not going to play Saturday night. So it's probably going to be on Sunday, which is surprising, Ross, that they're not going to get the Leafs game 1 home game on a Saturday night, hockey night in Canada. But I think both teams will be happy with another day of rest there, because this isn't the matchup of Ontario. It's not the friendly exhibition of Ontario. This is literally getting back to the old days of the Battle of Ontario, and I'm fired up for it.
So fired up for it. So because the Ottawa Senators won in overtime, they have now locked themselves in to the first wild card spot. They're 4 points behind the Florida Panthers for the last spot in the Atlantic Division. But even if Ottawa wins both their games and Florida loses their remaining 2 games, the Panthers do have the edge in regulation wins, 37-34 right now. So if Ottawa had won both regulation games and won today, it would have been tied. It would have moved to regulation overtime wins, and Ottawa actually has the tiebreaker in that one already, and it would obviously get even more increased if they would have gone. But that doesn't matter. Ottawa wins in overtime, so they are locked in to the top wildcard spot. And because the Washington Capitals are locked in to the top spot in the Eastern Conference, the guarantee is there. Ottawa will play the winner of the Atlantic Division right now. That's the Toronto Maple Leafs. They are 4 points up on the Tampa Bay Lightning with 3 games to go. It's either Tampa or Toronto at this point, I believe. Can the Panthers?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Yes, they can if they win both their games in regulation and Toronto loses both their games outright.
Okay. Yeah, true.
Oh, no, because they would tie. Never mind. No, they cannot. It's either Toronto or Tampa.
I thought I saw on Twitter that it doesn't work. Okay. Yeah.
Thank goodness. I do not want Brady Tkachuk's first playoff series to be against Matthew Tkachuk. Don't need that storyline.
No, definitely not. And I also
Second round, though.
I don't want it up against Tampa either. I don't want to make a viral clip like we want Toronto, like Toronto did. We want Florida, but by default, work your way down the line. It's not going to be Florida. We don't want Tampa. That leaves us with a certain result. And I think even Leafs fans, they would say that they would prefer to match up against Ottawa. Obviously, they probably think it's an easier matchup than Tampa, which is a fair opinion, but also the storylines and the content and the adversity and the hatred that could get back into the battle between these two teams. That's what every hockey fan wants.
Yes, it is. And every hockey fan in Ottawa, Sens fan, wanted the Senators to finish above the Montreal Canadiens, and they officially do that by clinching the top wildcard spot, which means that Eric Engels, with a capital L at the end, because his take is crumpled up and thrown into the garbage. Now, he was on the precipice of a good take. The Habs overperformed expectations this year.
Certainly.
But he had to go in and say, I don't know where the Habs are going to finish, but it's going to be ahead of the Ottawa Senators. No, it's not, Eric. No, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, the bookmarks on that one must be insane. I thought you were talking about that one, but then I thought you meant he specifically tagged us or SensCentral.
No, he didn't have the gumption to do that. I offered him $1,000 bet in the comments when he made that. I would have been sweating it a little bit until Friday, but
yeah, it's I can't wait to screenshot the Ottawa Senators ahead of them in the standings when this is over. And
he probably won't see this though, because he's probably following Ivan Demidov around whatever hotel or airport he's in right now.
Yeah, he's sneaking behind corners in the Hockey Hall of Fame trying to snap a couple picks. But yeah, you got to give it to the Habs, which I don't do often. They certainly outperform their expectations, but they finish under the Ottawa Senators where they belong.
Again. Pilsy, any final thoughts on a 4-3 overtime victory postcast where Tim Stützle has 2 goals and an assist? Thomas Chabot has a goal and 2 assists. Our guy Angus Crookshank gets his first NHL point of the season, and Anton Forsberg is brilliant in goal, making 29 saves.
Final thoughts for me is it's great to see the boys get a win like this with different guys entering the lineup and playing big roles. Like Crooker getting that assist was big. Dennis Gilbert hadn't been in the lineup for quite a while. That's got to feel good for him. Hamonic gets an assist.
And he will play both the last 2 games, I'm sure, and get to 900 NHL games, which
as he goes for that elusive 900th game. Everybody wants to have 900. At Forsey, he was a guy that wasn't getting a lot of starts, but now he's been hot recently. So it's nice to see these guys getting a chance to perform, and they're doing that. So I love to see it. And an overtime win here today was a lot of fun.
Now go enjoy the Masters, everybody. And we are going to be back tomorrow with a SensCentral citizen on the show. We're working on some interviews for later on in the week, and it will be all systems go leading up to Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, where your Ottawa Senators will play the winner of the Atlantic Division. Game 1 and 2 will be on the road, and we will have you covered every step of the way. 16 wins to glory. Well, let's start with 1. We'll be back tomorrow on the show. For now, if you missed it, Jamie Campbell was awesome on the podcast on Friday. We had a great vibecast after the Sens beat the Habs Friday night. Lots of content coming your way, and you can find us on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Shout out to the everydayers out there making us your first listen each and every day. And if you got friends that are just casual hockey fans, they're getting into the Senators, please be a friend, tell a friend to jump on the bandwagon for the postseason. For today, we say goodbye. Let's get some Go Sens Go in the chat. For Brandon Piller, I'm Ross Levitan. This has been the Postcast presented by the Locked On Senators podcast and the Glebe Central Pub. Check them out at 779 Bank Street. Let them know that Locked On Senators sent you. You'll get 10% off your order on Senators game days and the Send Shuttle you can find online. Reserve your tickets at GlebeCentralPub.com. We're a part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.